Good morning and welcome back to Impact on a Tuesday morning in the winter of our discontent. It never seems to want to end. I was hopeful for a couple of days. It was nice and warm and the water was flowing, and then it just got cold again. Warming up the studio, we've got Milena Joveska in with us. Good morning.
Good morning, Russell.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. Milena is with a number of different organizations, but today she's wearing her MS Society hat, which is the Multiple Sclerosis Society. That's hard to say.
Yes, I know.
Multiple sclerosis.
Well, you can just say MS Society.
Now that we've established what it is, I'm a big guy for naming the acronyms. Anyway, well, thank you for coming in. And the other thing that's interesting about Milena is that she's a graduate of the Leadership with Buffalo program, which is really cool.
Yes.
As am I. I'm much older than her. I was in the first class. She's in the most recent class. And how was that experience for you, out of curiosity?
Yeah, that was such a great experience. I think Fuse Social, they're doing such a great job with having so many programs where they do training, and also especially Leadership with Buffalo, because it was such a great and at the same time challenging experience, which helps you grow.
Yeah. And
I'm so fortunate that I got a chance to meet so many people that, just encouraged me to do better and inspired me with everything, actually.
You asked me about how many people were in my Leadership with Buffalo class, and I said 16 or 17, something like that. How many were in yours?
There were 10 people. Okay. And you told me that most of the people in your group moved out, but we're all still here.
That's good.
And yeah.
And when did you finish up the program?
So we had our graduation in January. Mm-hmm. So we started in September, we finished in January, and yeah.
So when you step back and you think about the time that you spent really strengthening your community leadership capacity, what is one thing that you learned or experienced that you think is going to serve you for the rest of your life?
I think it's just thinking about constant growth. And not only personal growth, but also how to grow the community, how to make the community a better place, because Leadership with Buffalo is experiential program, so we had like a direct experience working on a project. And yeah, we've learned so much.
What was your project?
Our project was actually helping the board of Big Brothers Big Sisters. Mm. And yeah, we worked on some documents, on governance, and also about reviewing, we are part of kind of like a nomination committee. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we worked on some documents that would help the board in the future with reviewing the work on the board and recruiting new board members. So
often that kind of stuff you never seem to have time for. So coming in as an outside group and assisting probably made a heck of a difference.
Yes,
so
it did.
Milena is, she works at the YMCA. She also works with the MS Society. And I get the sense you're probably not from Newfoundland originally, but where are you from originally?
Yeah, you got that right, Russell.
I'm going to guess. You've probably told, I'm thinking Serbia. Am I anywhere near in that region?
Yes, you're very close, actually. I'm from Macedonia.
Okay.
So that's exactly one of the countries from former Yugoslavia.
I was about to ask for us older people, former Yugoslavia.
Yes, that's right.
Very good. And so how old were you when you made the journey to Canada?
Well, I was 27 years old.
Really?
Yes.
I can't. You don't even look 27 years old now. Okay, I won't ask how many years ago, but I want to ask this question because I've always wondered, when you left your home country for the final time and you stepped on that plane and you were coming to Canada, what was the feeling of leaving and then realizing that you're coming to Canada?
I was actually very excited because coming to Canada was one of my goals that I had set years ago. And yeah, I was just so excited because I knew this is a new journey, a new start of a chapter of my life. Yeah. So, yeah.
How did you view Canada before you came here? How are we perceived in the world?
as a peaceful nation. Yeah, so that's why I really wanted to come here. I know a few people that left Macedonia to live in Canada, and they had only the best things to say. So yeah, that's one of the things that actually encouraged me to come here.
So I'm going to ask you one more question about Yugoslavia before we leave. So Yugoslavia, when it was a country, was Macedonia like a province?
Yes, it was one of the countries that was part of Yugoslavia.
Okay. And then, of course, all those countries sort of became separate countries at some point.
In the 90s.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Well, Milena, congratulations on your new role with the MS Society. Tell me what you're doing with them.
Thank you, Russell. So I started with my new role last month. So I've been with the MS for like over a month. My role is I'm a program coordinator. So part of my job is actually organizing the annual MS Walk, which is like a big fundraiser. And it's going to happen on May 26th on the Snipe Point Park. And another part of my role is actually providing services for the community, for the people that have MS or the families, because we know that MS is not affecting only the people that have the disease, but also affects their families and friends. Yeah.
I was talking to your predecessor, and I had no idea about the size of the MS Walk and how much money. You guys raised a lot of money with this event.
Yes, last year actually we raised $48,000.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
Wow. So how does money get raised with a walk?
Okay, so the way money is raised is that people actually fundraise individually and as part of teams. Also, we have donors and sponsors that are helping with that. So it's very important actually to have this MS Walk because it helps us provide the services for the community, and it also helps in research towards the MS, so we can, in the future, we can live like with hope that we can find a cure for MS. And we actually made a few steps towards it. So actually last month, one medication called Ocrevus was approved for treatment for the patients with primary and early progressive multiple sclerosis. So that's a big thing.
And you know the thing about MS, if you're not really familiar with the disease, there are a number of high-profile people in our community, friends of mine, that live with MS every single day.
Actually.
And unless you know, you may not know.
Yes, that's right. So actually, when I see that kind of examples, those people are so inspiring for me because they do so much and they're so positive. And also, I need to mention that MS doesn't affect everyone in the same way. So, and it can be hard at the beginning to actually accept the fact that you're diagnosed with chronic disease that is going to last a whole life, and currently there is no cure. But I think with the help of the community and close friends and families, and also at DMS Society, we have a program called peer support. So those are actually volunteers that have MS and that are willing to talk to the newly diagnosed people or the people that are waiting to be diagnosed, because we know how much stress and anxiety they go through. So I think it's good talking to the peer support, because then you can get some kind of like hope and think, okay, I got diagnosed, but I still have I still have opportunities to live like a great and fulfilling life.
Yeah, and you feel less alone, I would imagine.
Yes, that's right.
My guest this morning is Milena Joveska. She's a coordinator with the local chapter of the MS Society, talking about a couple of different things, including the services they provide, and a big MS walk, which is coming up later on in May. We're going to take a break and come back with more of Impact. This is a team effort of United Way, Fuse Social, Shaw TV, Fort McMurray, your McMurray, YMM magazine or your McMurray magazine. I always get confused with those two. And of course, our friends here at 91.1 The Bridge. Welcome back to the show. Our guest this morning is Milena Joveska with the MS Society, getting ready for the MS Jamin Built Walk.
That's right.
What was the date again?
26th.
May the 26th at Sny Point Park, which is a beautiful park. And you raised a lot of money last year. I'm very interested. Like, how many people came out to raise well over $40,000?
So there were over 100 people.
Amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of volunteers as well included. So when it comes to the MS Walk, we have such a great support from so many members of the community. And I think that's amazing because the people that have MS know that there is a community that supports them. It's not only the organization, but also the whole community.
So is there a time where everybody gathers and everybody sets out on the walk together?
Yes.
What time is that?
We actually start with registration at 9 a.m. and the walk starts at 10 a.m.
How do people sign up?
So the people can sign up on mswalks.ca. It's very easy to sign up. And they can also register on the day. It's pretty easy.
So give us the date one more time.
So it will be May 26th.
Which is a Saturday? Yeah,
on
very
the
good.
Sniper.
And the weather is going to be amazing. Maybe. No, May 26th. That's
Yeah,
like the
it
best,
should be great
That's
weather.
like the best time of year of all. And of course, Sny Park by that point will probably be green. It'll be awesome. So, no, that's really, really great. So, your role is kind of twofold with the MS Society. Of course, you're really focusing on this walk and there's a lot of work that goes into preparing for it. I know that. But you're also that local person that can coordinate and help connect people either that know they have MS to resources or people are just finding out. So the question would be what's the best way for people to get in touch with you so they can get some guidance?
So the best way to get in touch with me is to email me on milena.joveska@mssociety.ca or call the office number so they can check about my contact info on the website. So that's the best way to contact me. And I just want to let the people know that even though the organization was restructuring in the new year, so now my position is part-time, we just want to let them know that we're still here and I can still set up time to meet with everyone that would like to know more about the programs and services that we offer, or if anyone wants to find out more about the MS Walk or how to register, I'm here for them.
The last time we talked about the MS Society, it was with a former board member. At least I think she's a former board member. She's still a board member, Krista Watts-Baker. And she was really celebrating the fact that you get so much support from people in Edmonton and other centers when it comes to connecting people up with resources. What's your experience been with that so far?
Yes, that's actually amazing because I started working here last month and it looks like, okay, she's like a one-person organization, but the amount of support that I get from Edmonton, it's amazing. It's unbelievable. Like we have like constant communication and I have a great supervisor. She's always there for me. And I would also like to thank the advisory committee that they're doing like so much work and they're volunteers. So I really appreciate when they donate their time, because that's the most precious thing that we have.
Is it a big advisory committee? How many people are on it?
We have 6 members currently on the advisory committee. And they're doing such a great job in helping with the MS Walk. And also we'll have volunteers on the day of the MS. So definitely it takes a village to do something like this.
And the reason that it's an advisory committee, correct me if I'm wrong, is that you are part of a larger MS Society as opposed to, it's not MS Society Fort McMurray as a separate entity, you're part of a bigger one. Is that the Edmonton group that you're a part of?
Yeah, so we're part of Alberta and Northwest Territories.
Oh, huge.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
How many people are actually working with the MS Society, representing and helping the entire province?
Well, I don't really have
The exact
number.
But it's a fair number.
Yes.
Yeah. You enjoying it so far?
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Yeah. What's the best part?
Well, the best part is actually knowing that through this organization, we're making a difference in people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the most rewarding part.
What's your sense of how many people in our community are dealing with MS directly? So, in other words, patients. Do you have any sense as to how many people are actually out there that are living with MS every day?
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have any statistics for Fort McMurray region, but we know that Canada is one of the countries with the highest number of people with MS, and Alberta is one of the provinces with highest number of people with MS as well.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder the same,
Yeah, I'm
because
sure the researchers
the
are-
cause is not known.
Mm.
There are several things that the research is showing, like cause. So people from Northern European background have higher possibility of getting MS. And also the people that are between 15 and 40 years of age. And it happens 3 times more frequently as for women than for men.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Yeah.
Our guest today, Milena Joveska with the MS Society. Milena, give us the website one more time.
So it will be mswalks.ca.
mswalks.ca. That's for the walk coming up later on in May. We're going to take a break and come back with more of Impact. Of course, this show is not only available through the United Way website. Our friends at Shaw TV, they put this up on Shaw Cable 10 and also on their awesome YouTube channel. So there's a lot of ways to get this community information long after the show is done, and that's really, really cool because it is a vital resource. This, again, is Impact. It's a team effort of United Way, Fuse Social, Shaw TV, Fort McMurray, YMM Magazine, and 91.1 The Bridge. Welcome back to the show. We're broadcasting from 91.1 The Bridge, located in Composite High School, right on King Street. Lots of progress happening here as the renovation continues. And my guest this morning is Milena Joveska, originally from Macedonia, which is, I guess, a country of its own now.
Yes.
It was when I was young, it was Yugoslavia. It was part of a group of states that made up Yugoslavia. And you have been in Canada for how long?
For a little bit over 3 years.
How is your English so strong?
Oh, because I went to university for English language and literature.
Was that
I
in
studied-
Macedonia?
Yeah.
Wow. 3 years. So I got to ask, what is the biggest difference between life in Macedonia and life in Canada?
Well, I think the cold.
Really?
For sure. Yeah. You might be surprised, but
Is it
in
colder?
Macedonia, we don't really get this kind of cold weather. And I know once it was -20 and we're all like freaking out and the schools were closed, and yeah, it was pretty scary. And here, oh yeah, it's -20. It's kind of warm.
-20 is like a spring day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the weather is a big thing. How about the people? I'm interested, in Fort McMurray, we're known for our diversity, our cultural diversity. Is there diversity back home where you are?
There isn't much diversity as there is here, because we have mostly Macedonians, and then there are Albanians as well in our country. But here, there are like people from all over the world. It's pretty amazing. I love the diversity here, and also there are so much more opportunities in Canada.
Yeah, we've heard that from many people that decide to come here. So is it harder as a young person in Macedonia to kind of get those first jobs and those opportunities?
Oh yes, it's much harder.
Wow.
I feel here it's so much easier because everyone is given equal chance, and you can actually work when you're younger and have part-time jobs. In Macedonia, there are not really part-time jobs. So,
well,
yeah.
We're glad that you're here and that you've had some really good experiences. You're now doing a couple of different roles. The one we're talking about primarily today is with the MS Society, and it's a big job. You have a big walk coming up in May. This is a really critical fundraiser for your organization. And where are you in the planning? Are you actually at the point where people can sign up now for the walk?
Oh, yes, exactly. They can sign up and they can register individually or as a team. So, yeah, it's their choice. It's free to register, and then you can fundraise and support the people with MS, because we know this is such a great cause, and we know we're making such a big difference.
This may be a dumb question, but how far do you walk?
So there's like 2 kilometers route and 4.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
I could do those.
Oh, yeah.
As long as I didn't have to run, I'd be okay.
Yeah.
And of course, you start at Sny Park.
Yes.
And it's near the end of May. The weather's going to be great. In fact, that's kind of around, when's the longest day of the year? That's June 21st, right, JD? Yeah. So it's long days, and it happens on a Saturday, and lots of fun and excitement happening. And again, you said it's mswalks.ca.
Yes,
is the
that's
website
right.
to sign up, and it's easy. When you sign up as a team, what does that mean? I don't understand. So do you walk together? Do you dress the same way, or what does that mean?
So if you sign up as a team, that means that you're fundraising together as a team, and let's say people have, so sometimes what usually happens is that one person with MS has lots of friends, and they all come together to support that friend. And I think that means so much.
Yeah.
Sometimes people decide to register individually, but we have a great number of teams registering this year.
The money that's raised helps do what?
So with the money that's raised, we help the community here in Fort McMurray through giving them grants to buy equipment.
Okay.
Yeah, so it can support their quality of life. And also a great portion of the money goes towards research. And that's the way we support our mission of building a future without MS.
Can you give us a couple of examples of the type of equipment that you might be looking to grant people with? Because if people don't know much about MS, they're probably going, okay, what do you mean by that? Like, what would be a piece of equipment?
So let's say walkers or wheelchairs, air conditioners, so those kind of things that actually can help people and improve their quality of life.
Because as the disease progresses, things change, and sometimes you need to make modifications in the home just to make it easier for day to day.
Yeah, that's right. And sometimes the individual diagnosis might change because MS is usually unpredictable. So.
And it's different for everybody, you said.
Yes, exactly. It's different
person.
for everybody.
Yeah.
So everyone experiences different symptoms. And it actually takes a while to get diagnosed because the patients need to go through a lot of different tests. We need to prove that actually they have developed symptoms over time, so new lesions over time. And also they need to have different lesions in different space in their central nervous system. And it can be pretty long, and the wait is making the people with MS actually anxious.
Yeah.
But again, thanks to that support that we have with the funding from the walk, we invest into machines that are used to diagnose people, so this process is getting faster.
It sounds like your colleagues down south in Edmonton have helped you learn a lot, because you haven't been in the role very long, but you seem to know quite a bit. You know, Milena's sitting here with a lot of words in front of her. She hasn't looked at the words once. That's just so obviously.
That's only for my confidence.
Yeah, you've learned a lot in a very short period of time.
Yes, as I said, I'm so fortunate with the team in Edmonton because they've helped me learn so much. As I'm new in the role only 1 month, I've learned so much from them, and yeah, I'm so thankful for that support.
Well, thank you for coming in. Speaking of thankfulness, we appreciate the work that you're doing and the work of your volunteers and your what did you call them? Not subcommittee, the advisory board, because they do a lot of work as well. The MS Walk is coming up later on in May. You can find out more at mswalks.ca. Milena Joveska is the coordinator with the organization, and you can get in touch with her. What's the phone number?
So the phone number is 587-601-1716.
That's one way, and she also has milena.joveska at
mssociety.ca.
mssociety.ca. And when we post this on the United Way site, we'll put Milena's, the spelling of her name, in case you're wondering about that, rather than spelling it on the radio. Thanks again, Milena. She is doing great work with the MS Society here in the community, and you've been listening to Impact. It is absolutely a team effort. We have the United Way of Fort McMurray, of course, Fuse Social, Shaw TV, Fort McMurray. Matt is here every week and does such a great job. We also get great support from your McMurray magazine that allows us to have some impact columns every issue. And of course, we couldn't do any of this without our friends right here at 91.1 The Bridge.